Hey guys, it's Kira and welcome back to my channel. As you can see, we're back on the sofa. I've actually left the cushions on this time because, you know, today I was actually feeling the colour scheme rather than resenting it. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys some of my Netflix recommendations. These are basically all my favourite Netflix shows that I've watched, either series or films. I think most of them are series, but there's a couple of films that I've put in there as well. So I'm going to be giving a little explanation about like the plot and a summary of what the show is, and then I'm going to be giving my opinion, my favourite characters, things like that. So in my notes I've written a little summary for each section, and that's why if it looks like I'm looking down, it's because I'm reading the summary I've written off my phone. I promise this is not something I found off Google. I genuinely sat there in my bed for about 2 hours the other day writing all of this out, so I can't memorise it all. Okay, so the first show is Dynasty. Dynasty is an American drama based on the 1980s soap opera of the same name. It follows two of America's richest families, the Carringtons and the Colbys, who plot and compete against each other to wrest control of the family fortune, while trying to control the lives of their children. Grant Show plays Blake Carrington, who is the CEO of Carrington Atlantic, which is the Carrington family business. His daughter Fallon, played by Liz Gillies, is a businesswoman who plans to take over her father's company. She is a bad bitch, and I would do anything to be a real life Fallon Carrington. Next we have Crystal No. 1, played by Natalie Kelly. She is Blake's new wife from series 1 and COO of Carrington Atlantic, which is a position that Fallon has been after since the day she was born. Her words. This causes a major rivalry between Crystal and Fallon, which the audience sees across the first season. You'll find out more about why I call her Crystal No. 1 if you watch the series. The final key character I'm going to mention is Alexis Carrington, played by Nicolette Sheridan. She is Fallon and brother Stephen's long-lost mother and ex-wife of Blake. The family haven't seen Alexis in years, and she returns unexpectedly. Fallon finds out she kept in contact with her brother Stephen but not her, which causes many arguments between her and her mother, for example the iconic pool scene. There are many other characters including Stephen Carrington, Jeff Colby, Michael Culhane, Sammy Joe and Liam Ridley who are key characters in the plot. I won't say any more because you should go watch it yourself, however this drama series definitely shouldn't go amiss. You will enjoy Dynasty if you enjoy series such as Gossip Girl and Riverdale, but obviously not series 3 or 4 because let's be real, no one enjoyed those. I love Dynasty because it has a really good plot line and there's always something going on that keeps you invested. I think that the actors portray the characters really well, and it's always really interesting to see what happens next. I personally think that the character of Fallon Carrington could not have been cast better. Liz Gillies plays the part incredibly and she's such a bad bitch. I would highly recommend this show to anyone, no matter what your kind of taste in series is. There's romance in it, there's crime, there's murder, there's people sleeping with their cousins who they don't realise are their cousins, there's people dropping rings in boats, there's bitch fights, like you have it all in Dynasty, and it is my favourite Netflix show. Next up we have Glee. Glee is an American musical comedy drama which started in 2009 and finished in 2015. It follows the students of McKinley High School and focuses on the Glee Club, formerly known as the New Directions, who are the school's show choir. The show follows their journeys to sectionals, regionals and nationals in each season and all the difficulties that come the characters' way. The characters deal with many different social issues including homophobia, racism and alcoholism. Although the show's main characters change from season to season, Rachel Berry, who is played by Lea Michele, is considered as one of the lead characters throughout the entire show and is never seen as a background actor. She is the star of the Glee Club and dreams to play Fanny Brice in Broadway's revival of Funny Girl the Musical, after graduating from the New York Academy of Dramatic Arts. Another key character is William Schuster, played by Matthew Morrison. Will is a Spanish teacher and leader of the New Directions. He is constantly battling with the coach of the school's cheerleading team, Sue Sylvester, who is played by Jane Lynch. Sue's mission throughout the entire show is to get rid of the New Directions, which she does achieve at the end of Series 5. However, at the beginning of Series 6, Rachel Berry comes back from New York City and restarts the club again. Most of the comedy in the show comes from Sue's iconic one-liners, and any student she faces is bound to be torn apart by her. Other key characters include Santana Lopez, Finn Hudson, Kurt Hummel, Mercedes Jones, Blaine Anderson and Sam Evans. Whether it's a heartbreaking ballad, a bit of bedroom pop, a high-energy musical number, or a diva off you're looking for, Glee most likely would have done a version of some of your favourite songs from the 2000s and the 2010s, along with many covers of older music too. The show had 121 episodes in total and 729 musical numbers. You will enjoy Glee if you enjoy the Pitch Perfect trilogy or musical films like High School Musical. Glee is a show I've watched from a very young age. I still watch it now. I'll admit, I don't watch season 5 and 6. Like, yes, I've seen them, but I don't rewatch them when I go through the whole series. I genuinely stop at season 4 and then just watch the series 6 finale, because I am in love with the series 6 finale. Like, it's one of my favourite episodes ever. However, I don't like the rest of series 6, and series 5 is practically all covers of like Beatles and Billy Joel and stuff, and although I love the Billy Joel episode, season 5 is just not really well written in my opinion, and I don't really like watching it. It's when Rachel Berry's at her bitchiest, and also without spoiling it, she gives up something that she achieves, which literally ruins 5 seasons worth of character development, which I can't believe the writers did. I personally think that the best seasons are seasons 2 and 3, and I love the musical numbers, especially It's All Coming Back to Me Now from season 3 nationals, Loser Like Me, and Get It Right from season 2 regionals. I would highly recommend this show to anyone who enjoys music or musical theatre. There are many characters that are annoying. In my opinion, Tina Koen-Chang is the most annoying character. However, if you put aside the characters that you're not going to end up liking, the show is really good, and honestly, I know some people that genuinely just watch it to see Sue Sylvester bully the rest of the cast. Next is The Politician. The Politician is an American comedy drama series created by Ryan Murphy, Brad Falchuk, and Ian Brennan, who are also the creators and writers of Glee. The series follows the life of Peyton Hobart, who is played by Ben Platt, who was the original Evan Hansen in Dear Evan Hansen on Broadway. He is a student who has dreamed of being elected President of the United States since childhood. In the first season, he is on a mission to become student body president for his high school, St. Sebastian High School in Santa Barbara, California. The viewers get to see the challenges he faces in the process. In season 2, Peyton is in New York City and is a student at New York University. His mission in this season is to be elected New York State Senate. He is running against Dee Dee Standish, who is the New York State Senate Majority Leader. Throughout the season, the viewers follow Peyton's journey to success and challenges that come his way. Other key characters include McAfee Westbrook, played by Laura Dreyfus, who is Peyton's campaign manager and best friend, Georgina Hobart, who is played by Gwyneth Paltrow, who is Peyton's adoptive mother, and James Sullivan, played by Thea Germain, who is Peyton's other campaign manager and best friend. When I was writing out this summary, I had to look up suggestions for shows that are similar to this, because unlike the shows I've mentioned previously, this is the only show of its kind that I've seen, and nothing else I've watched is similar. So I just typed into Google shows that are similar to The Politician, and I'm not even kidding, it suggested Glee, and I was like, what the actual heck? The source that I found said, this is probably the Ryan Murphy project that comes closest to mind when we're thinking of The Politician, because the Netflix show's first series draws out strong characters in a campy high school setting. The moment we laid eyes on Peyton Hobart, I couldn't stop thinking about the New Directions go-getter Rachel Berry, except he's probably ethically sketchier in pursuing his dreams. I personally see no correlation between the two, except the small resemblances between the personalities of Peyton and Rachel, and their attitude to achieving their dreams. Another show that came up when I was looking for similar shows is Sex Education. Again, I see absolutely no correlation, however all the websites I looked at were saying it's the most similar show to The Politician. So honestly, I can't give you examples that I know are actually similar shows, but if you really like the summary I just gave, then I'd give it a go. Next is Selling Sunset. Selling Sunset is an American reality TV series that follows the real estate brokerage firm, the Oppenheim Group, and the selling of high-end residential properties in Los Angeles, California. The series tracks the group of agents as they navigate their personal and professional lives. Jason and Brett Oppenheim are the owners and founders of the brokerage firm, and the other main cast members are Christine Chrishell, Mary, Heather, Davina, and Maya. Throughout the show there are romances, divorces, and heated arguments. You will love Selling Sunset if you like The Real Housewives or $1 Million Beach House. I personally really enjoyed Selling Sunset. I think it's because I just loved watching Christine be a bad bitch, and the final episodes of series 3 I absolutely loved, just because of how iconic Christine's wedding was. I'm gonna be honest, Mary annoyed me throughout the entire thing. Like, I couldn't stand her. Her boyfriend as well, low-key, kind of annoyed me. I would say typical British girls would like this show, so if you're a typical British girl, check it out. I know this show was really big during quarantine last year, and that's actually when I discovered the show. I binged watched it all in 2 days. Okay, so right now you may be thinking that the angle or the shot has changed a bit, or even my positioning has changed. So to explain why that is, basically I have loads of videos of me singing on my camera that I like to keep on there just so that I can track my progress with my singing, just so I know what I used to sound like, and then when I get better know what the difference is. So I want to keep all those on my camera, but I only have a camera with a really small amount of memory on it. So all the memory I have left is 15 minutes. So I film all of the 15 minutes and then I go and transfer the video from my camera to my computer, edit the video, and then once I've edited it, I come back onto my camera, delete the video I've just filmed so that I can film the next video. However, this video has taken me longer than 15 minutes to film, so I couldn't film it all together. So I had to film the first 15 minutes and then take a break, and I've literally just spent the past 45 minutes editing the first half, and now I'm back to do the second bit. The next show I'm going to be talking about is Sex Education. Sex Education is a British comedy drama television series. The main characters are Otis Milburn, played by Asa Butterfield, who is a socially awkward and insecure teenager. Maeve Wiley, played by Emma Mackey, is a social outcast and confident but troubled classmate who befriends Otis in the first series. Gillian Anderson plays Otis's sex therapist mother, Dr. Jean Milburn. Being surrounded by manuals, videos and tediously open conversations about sex, Otis has become a reluctant expert on the subject. When his classmates learn about his home life, Otis decides to use his inside knowledge to improve his status at the school. So he teams up with Maeve to set up an underground sex therapy clinic to deal with their classmates' problems. Other characters include Eric, Otis's gay best friend, Jackson, head boy and swimming superstar of the school, and Amy, Maeve's unlikely best friend and member of the Untouchables clique. The show is all about the students of Moordale Secondary School finding their sexual identities and the troubles they face as teenagers. I know this show is a comedy drama series and obviously it's not a reality TV series, however I do think it is actually quite educational to young people. I've genuinely learned a lot from that show that I wouldn't have learned anywhere else. Yes, I've seen YouTube videos on the subjects that are discussed and I've spoke to people about the subjects discussed, but I've not actually learned some of the more serious topics, for example sexually transmitted diseases. So although it is educational, it's really funny and you should definitely go give it a watch. I would say it's more tailored to a British audience because the humour just is more tailored to British people. However, I know Americans that also love the series. Okay, it is literally the next day when I'm filming the next part of this video. Things just kept getting in the way. Harvey was doing live streams. I was talking to my mum about things, like I just kept doing things that were getting in the way so I couldn't film. And then my brother came home and I was talking about sex. So I was trying to be really quiet. I think you might pick up on the fact that in the last part my voice was really quiet because I was trying not to let anyone hear me with the conversation I was having. I just might have thought if somebody walked in they might have been like, what the hell are you on about? But I wanted to carry on this video, so here I am. For the next shows and films I'm going to mention, I've not actually written out summaries for them. I've looked up a couple of things on Google, but I don't have like a full-blown summary like I did with the previous shows I've mentioned. The shows I've mentioned previously are all of my favourite like top shows on Netflix that I've seen, and the ones I'm about to mention are just some things that I think are honourable mentions, I suppose, that I think you should watch and that I really liked. So the next series, which is actually the most recent thing I've watched on Netflix, is Tiny Pretty Things. Tiny Pretty Things is an American drama streaming television series based on the novel of the same name. The series revolves around the goings-on at the Archer School of Ballet in Chicago, Illinois, and focuses on the school's students, instructors, administrators, and benefactors. There is only one series, however, a lot happened in the series. In the first episode, there's a new girl called Nevaeh who comes to the school, and she continues to be the protagonist throughout the season. If you're from the UK or Canada and watch The Next Step in your childhood, you'll notice that Daniel from The Next Step is in the show. And it made me realise how bad ballet schools can be. I know it's obviously a drama and it's not really like a reality series. However, the things that go on behind the scenes and all the things going on between the characters and people being in prison and people getting killed in comas, like it's crazy the things that go on, and I think it's a really good series and I highly recommend it to anybody who's interested in dance or just likes a good drama series. A similar show to Tiny Pretty Things is actually Dare Me, which again has quite a few members of the Next Step cast in it. So Brittany Raymond, who played Riley in The Next Step, is a lead character, along with the actors who played Talia and Salome. The series follows an American cheerleading squad and everything that happens with their new coach. There's drama, there's romance, there's crime, everything that you'd really expect in a drama series, but it's about a cheerleading squad at a high school. I actually really love this series, and you may notice by now that I'm really into like crime dramas and things, so this is another reason why I loved it. At first I was a bit skeptical about watching it because I watched the trailer and I saw the description on Netflix and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like this. But I do not regret watching it at all. I really liked it. It wasn't what I expected, but it exceeded my expectations definitely. I can't wait for the next series. I don't know when that is. I don't even know if there is a next series, but I hope there is because I really enjoyed it. The next two shows I'm going to mention are actually artist documentary films. So there's Miss Americana, which is Taylor Swift's 2020 documentary, and In Wonder, which is Shawn Mendes' 2020 documentary. These Netflix shows follow the lives of Taylor Swift and Shawn Mendes, their roles in the industry and their career journeys. You see the process of them songwriting, touring, spending time with their friends and family, and everything else they get up to as part of their job. It's really interesting to see an insight into their lives. I'm someone that is a massive fan of Taylor Swift, as some of you will know, and I also love Shawn Mendes and I've actually seen him live in 2019. His new album Wonder was one of my favourite albums of 2020 and honestly one of my favourite albums ever. It's a masterpiece, and if you haven't listened to Wonder, which I don't think there'll be many people that haven't, but if you haven't listened to it, I highly recommend it. Also, quick note, you should listen to the song Wonder on your bedroom floor, like lie down, headphones on full blast, close your eyes, preferably at night, but you can do it in the middle of the day if your eyes are closed and you're in a dark room. Just lie on the floor and listen. You know the like intro, you'll feel alive. I'm not even kidding. I do it so often and it makes me feel so good. Like, oh, wow. It's just a masterpiece. Even if you're not into either of these artists, I think these documentaries would be a really good watch. If you're interested in any aspect of the music industry, or you just like seeing how artists have got to the point in their career where they are now, it's definitely something you should look at. It shows the ups and downs of their career, how they got to where they are, the scandals that have got in their way, and how they write their music. Now, the next 2/3, if you want to count it as 3 films that I'm going to mention, I would recommend 15 and up only. Even some may say 18 and up. Yeah, just not recommended unless you like that stuff. But basically they're not very child friendly. There's like some sexual scenes, just things you wouldn't want to watch as like a 12-13-year-old. The first 2 are After and After We Collided, which are my favourite films. I can't wait for After We Fell and Ever After Happy that are coming out really soon. After We Collided, I would say, is my favourite film. I think I just love Hero Finds Tiffin, but I love Josephine as well. A lot of people didn't actually like these films because either they weren't based on the book and they changed a lot of things, or they hated the book so much that they didn't want to watch the film. There is multiple reasons. If you didn't know, these films are actually based off a Harry Styles fan fiction that was written by Anna Todd when she was a Harry Styles fan in her teens. And even though I am not at all a fan of Harry Styles or One Direction, I really, really like these. And Hero Finds Tiffin, whose character is Hardin Scott, is meant to be a representation of Harry Styles, even though he's nothing like him as far as I'm concerned. You should definitely watch these films if you love good romance films. I know that people say that they don't like to watch them because it's quite a toxic romance, and yes, I completely understand that. But some of the actual romantic scenes where he's fallen in love with her and they're spending time together are so cute, and I just love watching these films. I watch them on a regular basis, and honestly there are not many films where I will go back and watch them again. I'll be like, yeah, I liked that, but I didn't like it enough to see it again. I must have watched After We Collided about 5 or 6 times since it's come out, and for me that's quite a lot. Just so everyone is aware, After, the first one, is available on Netflix. However, After We Collided is only available on Amazon Prime Video. I'm not sure if it's come out anywhere else. Before it came out, I actually illegally watched it on an app called Dramatics, but that app's now been taken off the App Store. But if you have Amazon Prime, I'd highly recommend looking at it and seeing if you've got it available to you. Now the next one, which I know people are going to be like, oh my god, why she watched that, is the 50 Shades trilogy. I love these films. I know, again, it's toxic romance. I think I just love toxic romance, but I love these films. If you can get past all the like really hardcore sexual stuff, I actually really like the story behind them. My storage just went again, so I've just edited everything you've just seen in this outfit and from today, and now I've come back to film the last bit, so hopefully this is the last bit. Oh my god, this video is stressful. But yeah, as I was saying, I really love the 50 Shades trilogy. I know some people are like, oh, it's a bit like dodgy, but I really enjoy these kind of films. That doesn't mean I like watching porn, so don't get the two mixed up. I think those things are very different, and although it's very abusive sexual activity in 50 Shades, I do really like the storyline, and I think the way that they find each other and the way they end up loving each other and getting married is just so different and unusual. Like, it's not a usual way you'd expect to meet someone. Then again, yes, it is a dramatization. However, I just think it's really cute and I love it. And if you can get past all the sexual stuff, I think it's really enjoyable. Would not recommend watching if you're under a certain age. I first watched these films when I was 15, I'm now 16, but yeah, they were on the telly and I was like, oh, I want to watch these. And then, yeah, I've watched them again since because I really, really like them. And I love Jamie Dornan. The final show I'm going to mention is Song Exploder. Now, similarly to the Miss Americana documentary and In Wonder documentary, this is another music documentary. Each episode follows the background, creation and production of some of the biggest songs by mainstream artists. I've actually only watched 2 episodes because there's only 2 episodes I was interested in, which is the Dua Lipa Love Again episode, which is the first one I came across, and then Lin-Manuel Miranda's episode, as I am a strong musical theatre fan. I actually found this show really, really interesting. It was really nice to see the way that the songs were written, the story behind them, why they were written, why it was produced the way it was produced, why the samples were used, how long the process took. things like that. Because sometimes an artist will explain the story behind a song, but they won't go into it properly. They won't explain why they picked certain creative choices. You won't get to see the people that actually worked on the song and why they did what they did. So I think it's really, really interesting, and I'm pretty sure there's only 2 series and there's not that many episodes, but you might be able to look through the episodes and find an artist that you like. If you're someone like me that enjoys all aspects of music, including production as well as performance, I think it's a really good watch. Finally, that is the end of this video. It's took me so long, there's been so much faff involved, I've had so many disruptions. Not to forget, I spent about 2 or 3 hours the other night writing all of the descriptions out for the first couple of series that I mentioned, because I wanted to make sure I got all the facts right, I didn't say anything that was wrong about it, making sure the names of places where they were set and the schools that they were filmed in were all correct and everything. Like, I wanted to make sure this video went really, really well. I'm sorry it's quite a long video, however, I'm hoping you enjoyed everything I said, and hopefully you now have some new Netflix series to watch. From now on, I'm pretty sure I will be posting every Wednesday and Saturday, so subscribe for more content. I've also now found out my school are doing mocks, so I will be doing some more study content again. But I have a long list of exciting videos planned that I can't wait to film. Please remember to check out all of my social media accounts. Most of them are in the description down below, but my Instagram usernames will be on the screen now, as I don't put them in description for personal reasons. I really hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful to you. If you did, please click the like button, it would really mean a lot to have your support. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please remember to put any comments down below of any suggestions you have or anything you'd like to let me know or ask me. I'll be sure to answer your questions and reply to all comments that are given. See you next time. Bye!